Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Fig Madeira. So it is a sunny, beautiful day here in Vancouver, British Columbia. We are in October and I took out all the trees from the greenhouse and put them outside. Any day in the sun, as long as it's not cold, is one of the best days. There is no light indoors, no matter what. This is going to be equivalent to the beautiful, beautiful sun. Today, I wanted to go through and show you some of my not so good results and tell you why and show you what I'm doing about it. You know, throughout my time of growing figs, two of the things I've never liked doing is pruning the stems, of course, and pruning the roots. And it's resulted in things like my trees not growing as much or giving me no fruit. An example is this Chicago Hardy here. It gave me no fruit this year. Last year it gave me a lot of fruit. And when I took it out of its container there, it was just full. It was so root bound. And I had to root prune it. Another one was the Olympian, and this gave me no fruit last year or this year. Last year, this is a new treat for me, so I didn't have it last year. And again, when I pulled it out of its container, it was so root bound. And I just had to close my eyes and start root pruning. The only time I've really root pruned is the Col de Dam. And I did that at the beginning of the year, and it did well. And I literally chopped off half the roots. And I think that gave me courage. And that's really what this video is about. I want you guys to see, if you're ever wondering, is my tree gonna survive? Is it gonna be okay? Give you an example of how much I took off of just the Chicago Hardy. That 5-gallon container, these were all its roots. But an even better example I want to show you is the Petite Negra. Now the Petite Negra was the only one that was root bound, but it still gave me fruit. It didn't give me as much, but it still gave me fruit. So I just want to show you guys an example of how I do my root pruning. Again, remember, I'm just a very simple guy. I like things simple, and this is my simple way of doing it. So you see, this is the Petite Negra. This was in this container, and I just took it out, and all I did was take this saw right here and basically saw off the one side. This guy here was like this, sawed it off, same here, and same on the other side. And you guys can see, I mean, how root bound this is. And you can tell that it's just way too much. You can see that. And so all this came off. Now, that's gonna take us to the soil mix, and I'm going to quickly tell you how or what I've added to the soil mix. If you guys recall my basic soil mix, which, you know, was very, very simple, was 1 part Miracle Grow potting soil. It was 1 part compost, sea soil compost, and 1 part perlite. And what I've gone around and asked all my grower friends, the ones that grow figs like on a farm, they all seem to be adding something called composted cattle manure. So I'm adding 1 part of that now, and composted mushroom manure. So I'm going to be adding 1 part of that. Now, we spoke about the amendments that we add to the soil, and I mentioned that you can always add them later. But if you wanted to add the proper amendments, it would be the dolomite lime, bone meal, any type of these in a 444 fertilizer. I didn't find any 444 on this batch, so I actually grabbed this here, which, you know, will be fine. I prefer the 444. And I'm simply gonna just fill that pot up with that soil mix that I've already prepared. I only have one hand, so I can't show you guys what I'm gonna do next, but I'm gonna just fill it up back into the pot here, and it'll be ready for next year. Now, knowing this little guy, he'll keep going. I know this Petite Negra, but I do have to let it sleep. Now, as far as all my other figs, if you can tell here, they're slowly ripening. This is the blackjack. I've been calling him the Italian everbearing, but this is a blackjack. Look how big these figs are getting. And the Italian everbearing is doing good as well. This is the Italian everbearing, and they almost look the same. It's not as big, so it easily fooled me. The Adriano has just been doing amazing. It just keeps ripening figs. Look at this guy here. This guy here is ripe. And the Black Madeira is doing well. So, and oh yes, look at, this is the air layered Petite Negra I showed everyone at the beginning of the year. Look at it, it's ripening its figs. Now it has been sitting indoors, and the temperature's been running pretty high in there. But it's doing well. And this is the Beers Black. If you guys look at my other video, it was barely, these figs were barely even, they were just green, and now they're slowly turning purple. And that's the result of the greenhouse. Thank you everyone for joining me. I wanted to share my fear of root pruning, and I will see everyone next time.